Welcome to the lecture series on information theory and coding. This is lecture number 37 of module number 5. So in the previous class, we were discussing about some more examples and problems on this convolutional encoding of the binary numbers for the using the time domain and transform domain, both approaches. Okay, so till now we have seen encoding diagram and how to calculate the output of the encoder, that is the code words for the given message, using both time domain and transform domain approaches. So from today class, we will start the new set of schemes where we will learn some high-end encoding schemes which are practically used nowadays for the communication, and where the comparison work can be done for the efficiency purpose of these different schemes. Okay, so before going through the high-end these new schemes, so there is one more term which is very important to understand, that is a state diagram and code trees. So these are the two important features while decoding these convolutional codes. So for decoding, so till now we have seen only about the encoding part. Okay, so we have the encoder diagram, and using that encoder diagram we will write the generator sequences or generator polynomials, and using those we are going to encode the given message to get the final code word. Okay, so the polynomials. Okay, we have seen only about the encoding part, so now we will start about the decoding. So for the decoding, we go for the state diagrams and the code tree. Okay, so those are the starting and the basic approaches that we can use for the decoding of these convolutional codes. Okay, basic approaches, simple approaches. Okay, so after that we have evolved and we have developed some more new decoding schemes for these convolutional codes. We will study that later after studying these basic approaches and what are the drawbacks in these approaches. Okay, so we will understand the state diagrams and the code tree using one example. So is this PDF visible? Yes. Is this PDF visible? I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are seeing one more example here. Consider the convolutional encoder shown below. The code is systematic. Draw the state diagram, draw the code tree, find the encoder output produced by the message sequence 10111. Okay, so these this find the encoder output produced by the message sequence ones for 10111. So this is actually for the encoder part. So first we will develop and first we will generate these encoder output, that is the code words, and then later we will see how to decode using the code tree. Okay, using the code tree, how we will decode the given message. So this is the state diagram given, and from this diagram we can make out the parameters that are given here. So n comma k comma m. So these are the parameters that we require, and L value. So L value is number of bits in the message sequence, and in the message we have 5 bits. So L is equal to 5. So for any given problem for the convolutional codes, first we need to write these parameters values. If they have directly given the encoder diagram, you need to write these parameters. So it also carries some marks. Writing these parameters also carries some marks. For example, 1 mark or 2 mark. So this writing of these parameters is also very important, and it also carries some marks. So what is n? Number of outputs. Okay. So till now we have seen n as a number of modulo 2 adders, but here we have one modulo 2 adder, but we have 2 outputs, C1 and C2. For C2 we don't have any modulo 2 adder, but this is a separate output. This is a separate output with no any modulo 2 adders, because there is only one connection to this output. So if we have multiple connections, then we can use the modulo 2 adder, but there is only single connection to this C2 output. So there is no any modulo to adder, but this is considered as an output. So n is equal to 2. So instead of calling this n as a number of modulo to adders, we can call it as a number of outputs. So it is 1 bit. Okay. Next, yum. Yum is the number of flip-flops. So here we have only one flip-flop, so it is 1. So it is 2, 1, 1 encoder, convolutional encoder. Okay. So since there is only one flip-flop, we have only 2 states. We need to write the state diagrams here first. Okay. We need to draw the state diagram. So for state diagram, we have 2 states. So for this diagram, we have 2 states. Okay. S0 and S1. So 2 states will be there. So in general, we have 2 raised to number of flip-flops, 2 raised to m. 2 raised to m number of states will be there. So for here, we have only one flip-flop. So this becomes 2 raised to 1. So total number of states are 2. 2 states are possible, and we will name these states as S0, S1 up to S2 raised to m. Okay. So here we have only 2 states. So S0 and S1. And state S0 is denoted by 0. So by mistake, I have written here 1. So state S0 is written as 0 and S1 is represented by 1. So these states are also represented by the binary description. If we have four states, S0, S1, S2, S3. If we have 4 states here, and we need to name these states in binary numbers. Okay, binary description should be given to these corresponding different states. So S0. So if I use only single 0, then we'll be unable to name these different states. Okay, so we will use two bits, 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, so instead of going for the single bit, we will go for the 2 bits. So depending on number of states, we will use the number of bits for the description or the describing these different states in binary number. We are describing these different states in binary. Okay, so binary description should be given to these different states. And how many states will be there? 2 raised to m, depending on the number of flip-flops. Okay, so S0 is named as 0 and S1 is named as 1. So this is the binary description we are giving to these 2 different states. Okay, so coming to the state transition table. So these are the 2 different states possible. And this is the state transition table. So the encoder are and message. Okay, so here DL and DL minus 1. Okay, so from directly we have one input to this modulo to adder, and after the first flip-flop, that is the output of the first flip-flop, or we have a single only one flip-flop here. So the output of this flip-flop is also contributing to this output C1. Okay, so both these connections are affecting this output, C1 output. Okay, so direct input and one flip-flop output. So this is direct input, that is the current input, and this is one delayed input. That means previous bit. So the output depends on current bit and the previous bit. So this is how we can describe and we can understand this DL and DL minus 1. DL is the current bit, current input bit. Okay. So this is current input bit and this is the previous bit, previous input bit. Okay. This is current input bit and this is previous input bit. So current input bit and previous input bit both are presenting or placing the influence on this output, C1 output. Both are having the presence. Okay, both are influencing this output C1. And coming to the C2, we have only single connection directly from the present input bit. So C2 is influenced by the DL bit only, that is the current bit only, current input bit only. So it doesn't depends on the previous bits, previous input bits, whereas C1 depends on the single previous bit, immediate previous bit. So are you able to understand this? Students, any doubts?
No, sir.
Do I need to explain it once again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are writing these equations for the outputs of the encoder. Okay, so we have two encoder outputs, C1 and C2. So this is the final encoder output. But intermediate outputs are there here, C1 and C2 of this encoder. So we need to represent this in terms of equation. Okay, so this output depends or influenced by two bits. One is direct input bit or present input bit, and one is previous input bit, present input bit and previous input bit. Both are having its presence or influencing the output C1. Present input bit and previous bit, one previous bit by only one place. So both are having the influence on this output. So if this value changes, the output will change. If this value changes, output will change. So like this, they are having their influence on this output C1. But C2 present input bit. So if we have the connection from this flip-flop, then it means that this output is also having or also depends on the previous bit. But this C2 depends only on the present bit, whereas C1 depends on both present bit and previous bit. Okay, so this is how we are writing the equations. DL present bit plus, this is a modulo 2 adder, this is modulo 2 addition, DL minus 1 previous bit, whereas C2 can be written as it depends only on the present bit because we have only single connection. Okay, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now writing the state transition table. In the state transition table, yes. Yes, any doubts?
How it is a input?
You are not audible. There is a very big noise and disturbances there.
Sir, how do we get to know that it came from previous bit only?
How to come to know?
That it is came from previous bit.
So there is a connection here. Before the first flip-flop, before any flip-flop, we have the connection. If there is a output, this is the connection after the first flip-flop. Okay,
Yes,
so that means it is of the previous bit. If we have one more flip-flop here, for example, just like how the encoder diagrams that we have seen in the previous classes. Okay, so if we have the connection from here, it depends on the previous bit. If we have the connection from here, it depends on the previous two bits.
Okay.
Okay, previous two bits by two positions, previous bits up to two positions.
Okay, sir.
This is current or present this is first previous bit, this is second previous bit. If we have further some more flip-flops, then it goes previous bits. Okay, so these flip-flops will act as a buffer or a memory to store the previous values.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's write the transition table here. So in the transition table, first we need to understand what all the things we need to write. Okay, so we need to write the present state and its binary description, and what is the input, present input, and because of this input, what will be the new state? Because of this input, what will be the new state and its binary description? And what is this DL and DL minus 1? DL is the present input, DL minus 1 is the previous input. Okay, and because of these DL and DL minus 1, what will be the output? C1 and C2. So this is C1 and C2, C raised to 1 and C raised to 2. So these are the things we need to write always for any given encoder, for any given problem. If you are writing the transition table, then you need to write all these things. Okay, so let's start with the S naught as the present state. Okay, so let's start with S naught as a present state. So its binary description is what? 0. 0 is the binary description that we have used to name this S naught. Okay, so 0 is the binary description. So if 0 is the input, if, okay, so we are not taking this input. You need to remember that and be very carefully while writing in the exams, because till now the encoder explanation, encoder operation, syndrome operation. So in that always we have written input sequence as an input column. Okay, we are writing input sequence in the input column, but here we are assuming if 0 is the input. If 0 is the input, what will be the new state? Okay, so if 0 is the input, so this flip-flop will take only 2 states. Okay, one is S0 state and other one is S1 state. So only 2 states will be taken by this flip-flop. Okay, depending on the inputs. So if 0 is the input, so only single bit is there. So if 0 is the input, then what will be the new state of this? Again, we have the 0, right? So S0 will be the new state. Its binary description is 0. Okay. So now the present bit is 0 and the previous bit is also 0. And 0, 0. These are the two DL and DL minus 1. Okay. So now we have DL and DL minus 1. How to calculate this C1 and C2 using this equation, and this addition, this plus sign is for the modulo 2 arithmetic, modulo 2 algebra. Okay. So 0 plus 0 is 0 and 0 plus 0. Okay. C2 is only DL bit. So DL bit is 0. Okay. So now input is 1. If in previous transition we have assumed that input is 0, but now the second transition, the input is 1. S1, because it is having 1. Okay, so next state becomes the DL and the previous bit will become the DL minus 1. So it is 0. Okay, so now we have DL and DL minus 1. So what will be the C1 and C2? C1 is DL plus DL minus 1. So 1 plus 0 is 1. And C2 is DL bit. DL bit is 1. So it is 1. Okay. Now coming, we finished all the options for this S0 state. So let's go for the S1 state now. If S1 is the present state, that means right now we are in the S1 state. So flip-flop is having 1. So right now this flip-flop is having 1. So if 0 is the input, if we get the 0 as an input bit, okay, so this F1, this 1 bit will exit this flip-flop and 0 will enter into this flip-flop. So what will be the new state of this flip-flop? S0. Right? So S0 is the new state and the new binary description is 0. Right? So this 0 becomes the DL and this 1 becomes the DL minus 1. So now 0 and 1. 0 and 1 are the DL and DL minus 1. So C raised to 1 is 0, DL plus DL minus 1. So it is 0 plus 1. So it is 1. And C2 will follow the DL. DL will directly go to C2. So C2 is equal to 0. So now for the same state, if 1 is the input, same state, if 1 is the input, then what happens? So previously here we have 1, present state, here we have 1. And the new input that comes is also 1. So exit this flip and so this becomes the DL and this becomes DL minus 1. So now DL and DL minus 1 both are 1. So what will be the C raised to 1? So it is 1 plus 1, it is 0. And C2 will directly follow the DL. So whatever DL is there, C2 will remain same. So DL is 1, so C2 is also 1. So this is our transition table. So any doubts in this? So here in this transition table, we are writing all possible transitions. And for that possible transitions, what will be the output of the encoder? Is that understood? Any doubts here in this transition table?
No, sir.
Okay. So this carries more marks compared to the transition, compared to the other steps. So writing this transition table is very important and it carries more marks weightage. Okay. So you need to write this carefully. So now coming to the state diagram. Okay. Coming to the state diagram. So we have only two states, S0 and S1. So let's draw this S0 and S1, two states are there. So I will write it one more time here, S0 and S1, we have two states. Sorry, S1. So in this state diagram, we are writing all the possible transitions from state to other state. Because of that, S0 is the next state. So if 0 is the input, sorry, S0 will land here only. So S0, from S0 to S0, previous state will become S0, and for the new input, the current state will become S0. So it is S0 to S0 because of this 0 input. And what is the output? Output of the encoder, it is 0, 0. So for this state and this input, for this new state, 0, 0 is the output. So for 0 input, we are having 0, 0 output. So this is how we write the input and output in the state transition, sorry, state diagrams. Okay. So if 1 is the new input for this S0 state, if 1 is the new input, then S1 will be the next state. So we have this transition. S1 is the new state for 1 input, and what will be the output of the total final encoder is 1, 1. Okay, so now we are in the state 1 S1. So if 0 is the input, then we will land at S0 new state. S0 is the new state for 0 input. And what will be the output if for this 0 input? 1 0. 1 0. And if 1 is the input for S1 state, then S1 is the new state and 1 is the input, and this is the output 0 1. So this is how we write the state diagrams. So is that understood? Any doubts here? Okay. So next is code tree. So to draw this code tree, first we need to write the transition table, and then we need to write the state diagram, and after we go for the code tree, drawing the code tree. So this is again very important one. For this, it carries more marks, and this is what they have asked. First one, they have asked to write the state diagram. State diagram we have written. Okay. Next, they have asked us to draw the code tree. Code tree. So this carries more marks compared to the state diagram. Okay. And we can draw this code tree using this transition table. For drawing this code tree, we need this transition table. So this transition table will help drawing this code tree. Okay, so let's see. S0 is the current state, so we will consider this initial state as S0. We will start with the initial state, and we need to assume the first state, 0 0 state. Okay, so always before starting the operation of this encoder, the contents of the flip-flop will be 0 0. If it is a single flip-flop, then it is 0. Multiple flip-flops, multiple zeros. So again, so that's why we always start with a 0 0 state, all 0 state. Okay, so in this given example, all 0 state is S0. Okay, so we will start with S0. Okay, for S0, if 0 is the input, then what will be the next state? S0 is the next state. So we have the one transition here denoted by this branch of this tree, and one transition representing this branch for one transition representing for 1 and representing for 0. So if 0 is the input, what will be the next state? S0 is the next state. If 1 is the input, S1 is the next state. If 0 is the input, S0 is the next state. If 1 is the input, 0 is the input, S0 is the next state. If 1 is the input, S1 is the next state. Okay. So what will be the output for S0? Next state 0 0 is the output. So we have written 0 0 here. If 1 is the input, S1 is the new state, and the corresponding output is 1 1. So 1 1 here we have written. 1 1 is the output. Okay. So this is just one branch. These two transitions, upper transition, lower transition, these two transitions makes just one branch. Okay, so we need to extend these branches further. Okay, so again here we are in the S0 state if 0 is the input and if 1 is the input. If 0 is the input, S0 is the new next state, and this 0 0 is the output. And if 1 is the input, S1 is the new state and 1 1 is the output. Okay, this is about the second branch. Okay, next we can extend this. So here we are in the S0 state, again 0 input, 1 input. So for 0 input, the new state is S0, and for 1 input, new state is S1, and the output emitted is 1 1, output emitted is 0 0. So for this S0, Again, here we are having the present state as yes not. If 0 is the input, the next state is yes not. If 1 is the input, the next state is yes 1 here. Okay, and the output are 0 0 and 1 1 is the emitted output. Again here yes not, 0 input, new state is yes not, output is 0 0. 1 is the input, 1 1 is the output. The new state is yes 1. Here the new state is yes 1. Okay. So here I have taken 5 branches. 1 branch, 2 branch, 3 branch, 4 branch, 5 branch. Okay. So depending on the length of the input, depending on the value of L, we need to extend this code tree. So here the L value is 5. So that's why we have taken 5 branches. Not just for yes not, we need to complete this code tree for all sub branches. Okay, not only for this yes not sub branches. So here S1, here we have S1 if 0 is the input and if 1 is the input. So if 0 is the input, we get upper transition. If 1 is lower, just read this upper transition as for the input 0 and this lower transition for the input 1. Okay, so this is just one method that we are using. We can also do this for 1 bit and 0 bit. So upper transitions we can use for the representation of 1 input bit and lower transition for the representation of 0 input bit. But here and in the textbook, so this is how they have used upper transition for 0 input bit, lower transition for the 1 input bit. Okay, so we need to maintain that for all branches and the sub branches. Okay, so if S1 is the current state and if the new input is 0, so what will be the new state? Yes not. So here we'll have yes not, and here we have, if 1 is the input, then the new state is yes 1. So here we'll have yes 1. So what are the corresponding outputs? So for yes not 1 0, for yes 1 0 1. So it is 1 0 0 1. So here also the same thing. 0 input, upper transition, 1 input, lower transition. So if 0 is the input, new state is yes not. If 1 is the input, new state is yes 1. So from again yes not, 0 input, 1 input. This is 0, this is 1. If 0 is the input, then yes not is the new input and output is 0 0. Okay, if yes not is the present state and 1 is the new input, then the new state is yes 1 and the output is 1 1, just like here 1 1. Okay, so we need to continue this in this branch also. We need to finish all this branches, sub branches up to 5 levels. Up to 5 levels, we need to complete these branches because L is equal to 5. Depending on the number of bits, we need to draw this code tree. And how many branches and sub branches we need to draw this in code tree depends on the L value and number of states. Number of states and L value. Okay. So have you understood this code tree up to this point? So any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Students, any doubts?
No, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how we draw the code tree. Okay. So the problem with this code tree is this is a very lengthy process and it takes more time to write this and decoding also is a bit time consuming. Okay, let's decode this. Let's see what will be the encode and output. Okay, So we can use this code tree for both encoder and as a decoder also. Okay, so for encoder, 10111 is our input. 10111. So what will be the output here? We can write this using this code tree. So first bit is 1. So first bit is 1. So this is the transition that we need to go through, that we need to trace. Okay. So what is the output in this transition? 1 1. 1 1 is the output. Okay. So what is the second bit? Second bit is 0. Second bit is 0. So we need to go through the upper transition. So because of 1, we traced the lower transition. Now the input bit is 1. So we need to trace this upper transition. So what is the output here in this transition? 1 0. So 1 0 is the output. 1 0. Next input bit is 1. So from this, we need to go for the 1 bit. 1 bit transition is the lower transition. So what is the output? 1 1. So next 1 1 is the output. Okay. Next, now we are in this state. Next input bit is 1. So again the lower transition. Yes. So what is the output here? 0 1. 0 1 is the output. 0 1. Now from this point, the new input is 1. So lower transition. So what is the output? 0 1. Again 0 1. But we have not stopped here. We took one more transition. Why one more transition? Why we have taken this one more transition? We would have stopped because all input bits are over here. 1 0 1 1 1. So 1 0 1 1 1. So we would have stopped here at this point. But here in this diagram, we can see we have taken one more branch. Why? These input bits on the output. Okay, influence of the input bits, previous input bits on the output bits. How many previous input bits will influence the output bits? Yes. So how many bits should be there here? Yes, anyone? So it is n into L plus m. So these many bits will be having the influence on the output bits. Okay, so here for this example, 2 cross 1 cross 1, sorry, 2 comma 1 comma 1, and L is equal to 5. So n is 2, L is 5, and what is about this m value? It is 1. So what is the answer? 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 into 2 is 12. So 12 bits should be there in our output encoder. So that's why we go for the one more state, but taking 0 as the input. 0 as the input, because they have not mentioned, they have not given the further input bits. So by default, we will consider the input as 0. So that's why we have taken the upper transition. So what is the output? So from S1, if S1, if 0 is the input, the new state is S0 and the output is 10. New state is S0 and the output is 10. So 10. This is our output. 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0. So this is our encoder output, and this is how we trace the diagram. Okay. Okay. 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0. So this is how we do the encoding, and the reverse is the decoding. So if 1 1 is the received bits, then if 0 1 is the received bits, then we will trace back this code tree like this. Okay. So any doubts in this example? Message sequence 10111, and hence we have calculated here the output by tracing this code tree, and we can verify this output through the time domain approach, because that is the simpler approach that we can use to verify, okay, whether the output that we have calculated using this code tree is right or wrong. Okay, so we can verify, and for the verification using this time domain, we need to write the generator sequences using the diagram. Okay, we have two generator sequences, one for the output C raised to 1 and one for the output C raised to 2. So for C1, it is connection directly from the input and output of the first flip-flop, so it is 1 1. And for C2, so this is G1 1 1, and for G2 it is 1, and there is no connection after the first flip-flop, so it is 1 0 1 1 and 1 0. So now the generator matrix has L is equal to 5, so we can directly write the generator matrix using these generator sequences, and we know how to write that. Okay, so one bit from this, one bit from this becomes one pair, second bit from this, second bit from this becomes the second pair, and the rest of the things will be 0 up to these number of rows, up to these number of rows, n into L plus m number of rows. And how many columns will be there in our generator matrix? L number of rows, and n into L plus m number of columns. Okay, so this is nothing but just we are shifting here. This first row we are shifting to write the remaining rows, and the encoder output can be calculated, can be determined using this standard equation, C is equal to D into G. So this is D and this is G. So after the multiplication, we will get this, which is same as before. We have calculated as code tree. 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0. So they may ask in the exam to verify the encoder output using any of the approach, time domain approach or transform domain approach. Okay, so this also carries some marks. If they have asked to verify, then you need to verify carefully, okay, using one of the approaches that they have mentioned. Okay, then that's it for today's class. We will continue the one more problem on this in the next class. Okay, we will see one more example, a little bit complex example in the next class. Okay, thank you for joining. We will continue in the next class.